Members of the animal kingdom can surprise both offensively and defensively. There are animals that put their lives on the line every day, not for fun, but for survival. Some animals kill to survive. They have deadly weapons. Fangs and claws are the norm, but there are also elite warriors who have special weapons. The best predators on our planet don't always reach their target. Sometimes a predator fights back and manages to turn the tide. Other animals manage to get into trouble. Today, we'll look at everything from small animals with the heart of a lion to large, immortal, deadly predators facing the wrong enemy. The sable antelope fights a lion to avoid becoming its meal. I do not need to explain to you why it is called the sable antelope if you see the horns of this animal. The lioness quickly realizes that these horns are a weapon to be reckoned with. The antelope manages to get rid of her deadly nightmare by proving who is in charge. Duck versus turtle. This duck was calmly searching for a fish when it was dragged to the depths. In the aquatic environment where the turtle lives, this duck is not wearing an oxygen ampule, so this may have been its last seconds in this world. Lacking patience, this pit bull didn't choose well whom to mess with. This prey is not easy, so the horse decided it was time for this pesky dog to buy a plane ticket. Kudu versus wild dogs. When these animals go out to hunt, they don't rest until they get something to eat. African wild dogs surrounded this antelope, which has retreated to the water in hopes of finding better shelter. She is protecting her backside, a favorite part of the wild dogs. However, this is Africa. The water is safe. In the least safe places, the hippo attacks to defend its territory. But, incredibly, the antelope is in combat mode, and those horns are two very sharp swords. He manages to drive the huge hippo away, but the dogs continue their hunt and don't let him get away so easily. Kudu is still in the water. At this time, my friend, being in the water guarantees you a very grim future. No such luck twice. The crocodile does not forgive mistakes and drags his prey into deeper water. It's a fight for control between two rams with different horns, but the same techniques. Just watch the death toss in the air, and the goat with the longer horns gains the upper hand. Iguana versus cat. This cat is trying to bully the wrong person. The iguana sees the cat as a threat, and in fact, it might be. So the iguana quickly greets the little cat with a whiplash. We can 100% confirm that it depends on which places you'd rather not go. This dog definitely did not know this animal. This python must be a thrill seeker, or rather a fan of sharp spikes. It's not quite clear why, but this python decided that a hedgehog would make a great meal. Jaguar versus giant otter. Otters are usually very dangerous fighters, especially this type of otter, the giant otter. But size doesn't always matter here. For example, this otter caused damage to the jaguar by defending itself from an attack. We see how the jaguar was paralyzed after the bite because it didn't expect it. Incredible moment with this kudu. Although wild dogs are very violent, they were frightened by the aggressive reaction of the kudu, although it must also be said that the playing field for these dogs is not the best for battle. The X-Men must have been inspired by this moment. The wolf doesn't quite know what's in front of him, a wild animal or a possible appetizer. Tiger versus dog. Don't ask me why, but this skinny dog makes the big mistake of approaching the wrong person. As soon as the two animals cross their eyes, too late, the dog has made a fatal mistake. and the tiger will not forgive an easy meal. There's nothing more relaxing than a day at the beach. However, it might not be so easy underground. A pigeon is resting peacefully by the shore. Not expecting such an attack, the fish takes its chance, but luck was on the side of the bird that day. Sometimes you have to get a little skunk splatter in the face to learn the stinking lesson of life. This dog is a little wiser now. Gazelle versus cheetah. This gazelle's instinct for self-preservation worked wonders and managed to escape alone from a family of cheetahs. A squirrel versus a rat. It's a few nuts and a few seeds, more than enough to make a battle break out. The squirrel and the rat fight over the treasure. The rat is brave and attacks unstoppably despite being smaller. Victory, of course, goes to the rat. But this is not the end. The rat doesn't want competition. It keeps scaring more and more squirrels. But here, a new squirrel enters the ring. This squirrel has made herself respected. She showed the rat her place. This goose, I don't know how he ended up in a cage with two tigers, but he didn't panic and went for the big cats. Hawaiian caterpillar versus fly. All caterpillars in the world are 99% herbivores. These insects you're looking at now seem to think so too, but these caterpillars have different tastes, and the camouflage is on another level, and the fly doesn't even notice it. The leopard's camouflage allows him to stalk his prey stealthily. Birds seem to be its target, but no. The leopard wanted something bigger for breakfast. In a few seconds, the coyote was surprised and captured. Dog versus donkey. These dogs are bothering the wrong people. The donkey can't let that happen. Soon the dogs realized their mistake. Don't ask me why, but dogs have an obsession with getting close to places where they don't belong. This little guy learned a hard lesson. Never molest a turtle if you want to keep your nose intact. It is incredible that a small animal can cope with a long and deadly battle in which one wrong step decides everything. Some animals become strong when there are many of them and form deadly hordes. These seagulls take the food from a hungry seal. The bird and the seal manage to exchange a few words before the gull flies into the air. Like a weasel against a groundhog, an incredible moment of the groundhog's use of his camouflage. Almost invisible, he almost manages to throw off his pursuer, but his luck does not last long. The weasel discovers something suspicious, and his luck runs out. The truth is that this moment is shocking. It is something unusual, but we see how some animals manage to survive a crisis. Two territorial alligators are synonymous with a fierce fight. The fight continues in the water. Underwater, everything can become terrible. After all, that's where the nightmarish animals armed with big teeth and unimaginable power lurk. Anyone who wants to enter the dangerous waters must do so at his own risk. This dog didn't expect the groundhog bite to be more painful than hers, but it was. Cat versus horse. This cat decided to climb on a horse, but the intrepid rider fails in his attempt to tame the beast. This horse looks pretty awful. This crab looks like an easy meal for a hungry turtle, but its rugged exoskeleton resists, and his claws restrain the aggressor. The turtle's prey is tougher than it looks. Incredible! The roadrunner bird crushed a rattlesnake and turned it into a snaked mashed potato. This deer saves the life of a rabbit. Another day he will be hawk food, but this hawk will not bother him again. An epic fail. The hawk wanted to stuff his belly, but didn't get it. This curious dog goes right into a very painful death trap. Turtle keeps the invader at a distance. Watch as this nimble black cat jumps onto the wall of the opposite building to trick his attacker into throwing him off the roof to great heights. Well, now that you've reached the end of the video, what was the most shocking moment for you? Don't forget to like it below. Best wishes and see you soon.